We have one STL native who is hoping you find an ugly fit too, because the holidays, they're all about balance, right? So Dana DiBiase joins us live to give us all the details.
That's exactly right, Mary. Of course, there's nothing worse than scrambling for an outfit at the very last second, which is an issue our next guest had enough of. But instead of stressing that your outfit might be a little ugly, that's actually the goal when sorting through uglysweaterstore.com. Mike Gollum had some trouble finding the classic ugly Christmas sweater nearly 10 years ago, and now he's got thousands to choose from. Right now on your screen are some photos of those. Look at that one. That one holds a beer. We have a White Castle themed one. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Absolutely.
You've got quite the collection going on now.
We sure do, and that's just the beginning. We have thousands upon thousands on our website. We have 20 or 30,000 in our wholesale availability for bulk purchase, and the designs. It's just every time I see a new sweater that I get, I'm like, oh wow, this is crazier than the last.
Oh yeah, and that's the goal. You want it to be crazy and a little ugly, right?
That's right. And ugly is in the eye of the beholder. So.
That's right. So you started off nearly 10 years ago now doing this. Tell me the story.
So my mom had Christmas sweaters. She was a kindergarten teacher, had 50 of them back in the day, and she's going to teach, one of these days you're going to want one of these sweaters. And I was like, you're crazy. There's no way I'm going to need one of these sweaters. And of course, 15, 20 years later, I got invited to a sweater party, couldn't find a sweater anywhere, so I called her and with my tails between my legs, and I was like, Mom, I need one of your sweaters. She's like, well, too bad, because I'm out of town and you're not getting one of my sweaters. So I couldn't go to the party. So I ended up looking that next year, and she ended up finding some at Goodwill in April while looking for stuff for her kindergarten kids to wear. And she's like, how many do you want? And I said, how many are there? She said, 40 of them. I said, buy them all. So then I had sweaters for the next year, threw them up on eBay and started selling them like crazy. And I said, there's something here. So started ramping up, and we went from 40 to 200 to 3,000 to, I think we at one point we had 100,000 sweaters in stock. So it's gotten crazy.
Yeah, so moral of the story is mother knows best.
That's true.
So if your mom tells you something, it might seem silly at the time, but maybe it's not. So at this point, you've been on Shark Tank and back. Now you're back in St. Louis selling these sweaters. So take me through some of them that we have right now.
Yeah, so we've got everything from vintage sweaters where it started. So when your mom and grandma had sweaters back in the day, these are the ones they probably had in their closets that we made fun of them for back in the day. And then it's now really spread where they're manufacturing new sweaters. So we have our White Castle sweater that we did specifically for White Castle. They asked us to do that. We did a couple versions of that for the last couple years, and then we created sweaters that hold a beer or non-alcoholic beverage or cell phone or whatever you want here. And we do custom sweaters. So we're working with a bunch of breweries in St. Louis and some other large businesses. So next year you'll see some other sweaters pop out, and everybody likes wearing Christmas sweaters. It's like the continuation of Halloween into Christmas.
Not everybody can find the snazzy suit.
No, absolutely not, yes.
This is your one-stop shop, all the sweaters you could possibly ever need. And they don't just do Christmas sweaters, they also do pretty much every other occasion, right?
Yeah, and we're bringing on next year, we're going to add Oktoberfest, St. Patrick's Day, Mardi Gras, New Year's Eve, all the sweaters that are cold, or all the seasons that are cold that you need a sweater for.
I like to hear Mardi Gras. That's my thing right there. So all that information for you right here on your screen. Again, that's uglysweaterstore.com. You can get all the sweaters that you'll ever need for your group, yourself, your friend, a loved one. You can even use a code UGLYSWEATER5 for 10% off of your purchase. Again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.